Hey Mike, how's it going? You're ranking every single Wolverine and Deadpool movie. What should I rank X-Men? Original X-Men was pretty pretty high up there. I put it under number 2. If you're talking about movies that Wolverine and Deadpool were in at the same time, I would go with number 2 on that one. By the way, that's the Wolverine X-Men Origins or whatever, because X-Men 1, I don't think Deadpool was in, so if that's what you meant. But yeah, Deadpool 1 was alright. I mean, like I said, his Ryan Reynolds Deadpool isn't that bad. It just keeps getting worse. It's like, it was okay, like in the first movie. They should have left it with that. You're ranking them with letters. Oh, like tier groups or something? Oh, well, in that case, they're all going to be mostly D tier, F tier. Wolverine Origins, I would put at like a C tier, mostly for with the Wolverine stuff. The Deadpool stuff, I would put that as kind of like D tier. And then Deadpool 1, I would put as like C tier. And then all of his other ones are F tier. So, hope that helps. Yeah, I agree. Logan is pretty mid, as they all are. I mean, there really wasn't that many good X-Men movies. I can't even think of any good ones. The X-Men First Class was kind of a decent series. Quicksilver ones were pretty good. I can't remember the names of those movies, but whole bunch of hit and miss with those. I mean, it wasn't much worse than the originals. It's just so hard to find good quality anymore. It's a near impossible job to recommend any good movies these days. We usually just sit around complaining about all the D tier stuff, and so yeah. The one where he turned into a blue creature was so bad. When did Logan turn into a blue creature? I missed that one. Blue creature Wolverine. The one where he turned into a blue creature. You're gonna have to remind me which one was that where he turned into a blue creature. You're so the you're so turned into a werewolf looked like so bad, and I don't even like it. And some of the characters in the movie looked overrated, so overrated. I'm still drawing a blank on which one you're talking about. The one where he turned into a blue werewolf? Are you sure this was a recent Marvel movie? Because I don't remember that one. Blue werewolf. I'm not sure we're seeing the same movies, dude. Because I don't remember the blue werewolf Wolverine episode. So you might have to give me an IMDb link to that or something, because I totally don't remember that one. But it sounds neat. I mean, Wolverine turned into a werewolf once, and the character in the movie looked so overrated. Yeah, I'm still just I'm racking my brain, dude. I thought I saw most of the modern X-Men movies or whatever, but I don't remember one where Wolverine turned into a blue werewolf. Are you sure you're not talking about the Beast? Because that's a whole different character. Like, there's a X-Men movie where the Beast is usually like a normal looking dude with big feet or something, but then like there was one movie where he was experimenting with Mystique's genetics, and he gave himself a Mystique shot, and it turned him into a blue werewolf. That's the Beast, dude. That's not Wolverine. So maybe you're talking about something else, because I don't even know what you're talking about. You're confusing me. You're confusing me, bro. What you talking about, Willis? In Deadpool and Wolverine, there was different types of Wolverines. One of them was like a blue type. Oh, okay. You're talking about the multiverse Wolverines. Now, I was like, what are you talking about? So, I don't even remember all the Wolverines. And, yeah, there were a lot of funny ones in there, like a little midget Wolverine, and, yeah, lots of different ones. I didn't even know that's what you were talking about. So yeah, the newest Deadpool and Wolverine movie, I already told you, is pretty mid tier. You know, like I guess I'd give that one a C as well or something. You know, just A for effort. I mean, it felt like a Saturday morning cartoon show or something. You know, like that's the amount of effort they're putting into these things. So, I wouldn't like pay money to go see one of those movies, but you know, like I said, if I was just bored sitting around a Saturday morning eating cereal or something, and I was just wanting some brainless entertainment, yeah, that's pretty much what we're talking about here. Short King Wolverine, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. Yeah, I stopped reading the comics a long time ago, dude. I used to be a Wolverine collector, by the way. Guess what comic I used to own personally? I used to have a copy of Hulk, Incredible Hulk 181. And so for any collectors out there, they know that was a special one. So, but yeah, when I was elementary school, middle school, and even into high school, I still kind of collected a little bit just for funsies. I used to be a comic book collector, not so much a reader. You know, I read some Wolverine comics, but they got kind of boring pretty quick. You know, I mean, sure, comic books have their value for just complete brainless fluff, but I mostly just enjoyed it for like the artwork and stuff, and really later on, just for the collecting side of it, because I was one of those dummies that believed that, buying comic books would be like an investment in the future. Like I thought I'd be like buy them when I'm a kid and then sell them when I'm an adult, which I did, by the way. I bought them when I was a kid and sold them when I was an adult, and barely made my money back. Barely made very, very tiny profit, and so I would not recommend anyone who's thinking about it to get into the collecting business. There is very, very little minor profit margins to be made in the collecting world. There's probably certain niches, like if you were at the right place at the right time. I think this generation, it was like Magic the Gathering or something. That was a pretty profitable collecting business. Pokemon stuff, like the original video games, and maybe there was trading cards or something that made some people some money. But see, I didn't know that back then, so I didn't know that in the future millennials and Zoomers would go nuts over Pokemon or whatever. And so, if that's even a thing, I don't even know if Zoomers care about Pokemon anymore. That was more of a millennial thing, but I'm Gen X, so like I said, that was like way past our generation. So, anyways, I sold all my comics, and I think I still have like a very, very small box of comics stashed away in an attic somewhere that I'm just gonna give to my kid someday, and he can give it to his grandchildren, and maybe 1,000 years from now, those comics will be worth something, but probably not. But anyways, I sold all of my valuable ones, including my Hulk 181, which kind of bummed me out, because as a collector, that's when you're really out for good, because that was the only thing of real value I had, and like I said, I barely even got my money back on that one. So yeah, it's not a good business investment, but again, if you actually enjoy that hobby, more power to you. And so, but yeah, I grew up one day, so comics don't really have any value to me anymore. And the movies, I enjoy watching a good movie, but on that note, there aren't any good movies anymore, which is why I was saying, if you like actually critique movies, they're pretty garbage. So yeah. Excuse me, I got some sniffles. I have Lego Star Wars. That is worth $500. Good for you, buddy. That's the spirit. Find something of value and enjoy it. Just don't get too bummed out when later on in life you thought it was going to be like your retirement plan or something. Like it was going to make you $1 million or something, and then you find out it's like only $10 more than what you paid for, because that's what happens most of the time in real life. Or even worse, it's $10 less than what you paid for. So a lot of people don't understand that in real life, most things just lose value, and so especially in your lifetime. So what a lot of people don't understand is when you hear about people selling their comic books for $1 million or their Lego Star Wars for $1 million or whatever, that's because you have to wait until like your grandchildren sell it, because while you're still alive, most of that stuff's not going to have any huge value. So the few rare exceptions I can think of, like in my life, had I known all the toys I was buying as a child, if I had waited until I was like an old man like I am now, um, I could sell those for some pretty decent profit. So, but the catch is, you don't get to play with any of those toys because the way they're worth a lot of money is like if you buy the original and it's still sealed in the box and it has like all the parts and has never been opened or anything like that. That stuff's worth a pretty good amount of money. But then you don't ever get to play with any of those toys for your entire life. So that kind of sucks because it's like, what if you wanted to play with those toys? And that, like I said, when I was like 5 years old or 6 years old, I had like a whole bunch of like He-Man toys and Transformer toys and G.I. Joe toys and stuff like that and Star Wars toys. And if I'd kept all of those things in their boxes and never opened them up and never played with them, that would be, like I said, I probably could have sold all that shit for, who knows, probably, like $1 million or something like that, total. But then I would have had to grown up not ever having the joy of playing with any of those things. Or you'd have to like buy like 2 copies of everything, like buy one toy to play with and one toy to sell in the future or something, and that's kind of expensive. Even back then, back then if you were buying 2 copies of every toy, just buying 1 copy of every toy was expensive enough, but buying 2 copies of every toy is just not practical for most people. So again, I just try to warn people, don't be dumb and fall for the trick, because I fell for the trick and I was dumb. I believed everyone when they were telling me that collecting comic books is going to make so much money in the future, and collecting toys or cards is going to make so much money. Oh, me too. I'm addicted to Legos too. I grew up playing with tons of Legos, and yeah, so I feel you there. I don't even know how much money my parents spent on Legos. I feel sorry for them because I had tons of Legos growing up. That was one of my favorite toys, which tricked me into thinking I wanted to be an architect when I grow up, or an engineer. It's actually engineer. Engineers are the one that actually design the buildings. Architects just make them look pretty. But I didn't know that, so I grew up thinking I was going to be an architect I wanted to be an architect when I grew up. And so when I got to college, I first tried to get into the architecture college, and they wouldn't let me in because I'm not retarded enough to get into their artsy fartsy school. So then I became an engineer instead, which actually makes a lot more money than architects, which is kind of funny because I thought engineers were like the boring dorks that had really dumb jobs, which actually is true. They are the boring dorks that have really dumb jobs. But anyways, in real life, engineers are the ones that actually like design buildings and stuff like that, and like skyscrapers and yada yada. Architects just make everything look pretty, so they're not the ones that actually design stuff. Just FYI. Most expensive Lego die right now is $5,000. See, now if you're spending $5,000 on plastic, you need to rethink your life, because there is way more cool stuff in life that you can get for $5,000 than some plastic bricks. So I know Legos are cool and all, but they're kind of turning into like a exploitation market at this point, where Lego knows what they're doing. They're just exploiting the shit out of rich kids who can afford this shit, and the dumb parents that will buy all this stuff for them, because at the end of the day, they're plastic bricks, and so plastic bricks shouldn't cost that much, nor should they be like such a name brand thing. I'm all for Lego knockoffs. Any Chinese companies out there knocking off Lego, more power to you, because sometimes when certain products in the market become like name brand or whatever, and especially just targeted for dumb rich kids and dumb rich parents of dumb rich kids, it kind of takes the fun out of life for everyone else, because like, you know, normal poor kids obviously can't afford Legos and they feel like they're missing out on all the fun and stuff. So that's not a very, you know, healthy market. So anyways, just my 2 cents. But yeah, I like Legos. They're pretty cool. I agree. Legos fun to play with. But if, like, again, if you're paying $5,000 for Legos, just stop. Just stop it. But whatever floats your boat. Hello, that train guy. What it is? Welcome to the channel. Thanks for coming by. Oh, you didn't pay for Legos for $5,000. It's just worth $5,000 now. That's cool. So you kept it sealed in the box and never played with your Legos? Is that what you're telling me? Or are they still worth $5,000 even opened and used? Most people won't pay $5,000 for open used stuff these days, but maybe I'm unaware of that market. But that's great. And again, the same problem is there, because even if it is worth $5,000, if you have to sell it, then you don't get to play with it anymore. So it's like, you know, it's just like that comic I was telling you about. You know, I loved owning that comic, which is probably worth about $5,000 right about now anyway. But, you know, once you sell it, it's gone. And even if you own it, you're always just worried about how much money it can make you and stuff. So that kind of takes the fun out of it. So thanks. What are you doing currently? Copper wire? Copper ingots, really, because my factory's gobbling up all my copper ingots. Yeah, as you can see, it's just, I keep feeding it copper ingots, but I can't fill them up fast enough, so I gotta make some more. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna start making some of these little machines into ingot, because we need more ingots. More ingots. And pretty soon I'm gonna need some more water, because this uses a lot of water. Another ingot machine and another ingot machine. Yeah, that's the name of the game. Sometimes when you're building your factory, you gotta make it happy by keeping it full. I sealed the box. I got 2 of them. Good job, buddy. I got 2 of them, and the other one I played. The other I sealed it. See, that's what I was saying, dude. It's like, if you're gonna turn it into a business, you have to like buy one for you and one for your business. And then you have to have enough money to buy 2 of everything in life, which, you know, a lot of people don't have enough money to buy 1 copy of a lot of Lego sets, because Legos are expensive, dude. Matter of fact, I purposely didn't introduce my kid to Legos because, for that reason, I don't want him to get, like, addicted to Legos and then feel like he doesn't have any Legos to play with, because I'm not gonna spend $1 million on toys for him to play with. But there's just more important things to do in life than sticking plastic bricks together. So I'm gonna teach my kid the fun toys called cutting down wood, making wood into things to build with, and then later on about stone and stuff, so that after he learns how to become a construction worker, he can build anything he wants in real life, not pretend, not just plastic bricks and pretend, but in real life. I'm going to teach him how to build houses and buildings and stuff. And so, and wood's a lot cheaper than Legos, so if you go into a forest and cut down a tree, you got some free wood. So that's the toys I'm going to teach him to play with. I'm glad you made a good investment. I'm sad that you are already thinking of toys as an investment. Because it kind of takes the fun out of just being young and having fun. If you think Lego's bad, I got addicted to rail modeling at a very young age. Very, very expensive. See, there you go. Here, I got the solution for you, that train guy. Here you go. I'll just solve it for you on screen right now. I know what you're talking about, train guy. I almost got into similar situations, but there you go. I'm just going to solve that problem for you right now. There you go. And then beep. Beep. There you go. Problem solved. So now your super expensive hobby just got real cheap. So for the low price of, I don't know how much Satisfactory costs these days, but I think it's like $30, $40 on Steam. I don't know. You can check. So yeah, there you go. Choo choo. Choo choo train. So yeah, there you go, buddy. I just solved your very expensive addiction. So you get to play with infinite amount of trains all over this giant world, and you can make all the train tracks you want, delivering all the goodies you want forever, and you don't even have to pay a very high electric bill. whatever electricity your model train sets burn, your desktop computer can produce infinite amounts of trains and train tracks all over this alien planet. So there you go. See, there's smarter ways to have fun and enjoy life. But I agree. Model train making is another example of a hobby that can get super expensive really fast, because it's like, that stuff's not cheap either, you know. Like good quality, you know, train sets and stuff with all the little fake backgrounds and stuff is... By the way, if you cut the owner tree, you need permission to cut it down. That's true. Anytime you cut down trees, you need the owner's permission to cut down their trees. That's why I bought a forest full of trees. So again, Mike, I recommend you invest money in places where things have real value, not just, you know, like fad value, like in toys and collectibles and stuff like that, but like, you know, land and resources and stuff like that. So I agree. This game is like Subnautica. Similar but different. You know, they got a lot of worlds to explore and stuff. Subnautica is way more exploration and way less making stuff, and this one is way more making stuff and way less exploration. Even though there is a pretty big world to get lost in, that's true. But the exploration is pretty limited, because once you map out the planet, that's pretty much it. You know, there's no more places to explore. But yeah, you're right. I mean, even size-wise, it is pretty big when comparing it to Subnautica. I wish there was more like factory building and stuff in Subnautica, because that would have made it a lot more fun. But the map was just too small in Subnautica. You do have to make stuff to survive, and you can make a base and do whatever you want. That's true. That is true. And Subnautica feels more like a base, where these factories feel less like a base, you know. Like, even though you have a base per se, it just doesn't really feel like a base. It just kind of feels like some random, you know, cabin in the woods or something that you just throw your tools in or whatever. I mean, I guess technically it's supposed to kind of feel like a little base, you know. You get your toilet, you get your computer desk, you get your beds. For some reason there's 2 beds, but anyways. And your little microwave and refrigerator. Or not a microwave, refrigerator, freezer, sink. I mean, yeah, I guess this is kind of a base, even though you don't ever really sleep here or anything. And I'm kind of glad you don't have to, like, eat food and drink water here, because, you know, that stuff like that kind of... Even though that's what makes Subnautica fun, because, again, it's that survival element about it that makes it more fun. And so I'm glad this isn't a survival game, because it would be so annoying to, like, have to go fill up your water bottle every hour or something and, you know, hunt food or grow food or whatever. You know, there is a grow food mod in Satisfactory that is pretty cool. Even though you don't eat the food, you just, you know, grow it and make it for stuff, which I do recommend. That is pretty fun. Yeah, I saw some of the mods for Subnautica, but I only tried a couple of them, and it wasn't really tickling my fancy like the Satisfactory mods. Satisfactory mods are like super good quality, and Subnautica mods just kind of feel like an afterthought, like someone was just bored and tinkering around with it one day. I haven't checked in a while. Maybe there's some really cool ones out now, but I checked a little while back, and the Subnautica mods are, meh. It doesn't really make the game like super interesting or anything. It just kind of makes it like, oh, that's kind of neat. Just does little things here and there. But yeah, I back in the day when I first played these two games, the first thought I had was somebody needs to combine Satisfactory with Subnautica. Like, can you imagine like Satisfactory and then like a Subnautica expansion? Like where you can like go out into the ocean and just explore a whole nother world through Subnautica. Somebody needs to figure out how to combine these two games. And so take the base game Satisfactory and then add the whole Subnautica whatever expansions, Arctic expansion, whatever, into this game. Oh man, that would be the best game ever. There's new ones called NPC, Subnautica NPC. Okay, I'll check it out. Yeah, it surprised me just how good stuff on the mod manager is. Oh yeah. I mean, the mod community is what makes video games good. I mean, don't get me wrong. Any like AAA game you name is like C tier quality, and then the mod community makes it like B or A tier. In some cases, it almost makes it S tier. Perfect example. I don't know if you guys have played Fallout 4. So Fallout 4 was like had so much potential of being a really cool game. They completely screwed it up by just typical Bethesda, just banging it out, and even though it's not finished and it's not even bug checked or whatever. Bugs aside, even core, gameplay mechanics, the development was just crap, because the mod community actually fixed Fallout 4, where it was way more fun once they actually fixed a lot of the problems. Namely, the autonomous settlements. So when settlements had the ability where you could just like delegate stuff to them, you could give a point one of the NPCs as like manager of a settlement, and then the manager would like manage resources and even do like some minor building skills by themselves. That way you didn't have to like personally handcraft every single settlement every time you took over a settlement. That made the game way more fun and way more interesting and way higher replay value, because like once you do everything by hand yourself the first time, you never want to go back and do that ever again, because you're like, all that time and energy spent. And one of the things that pissed me off about Fallout 4 was it was all just for... Yeah, Fallout 3 was pretty cool too, but I particularly liked Fallout 4 when they introduced the concept of settlements. That was such a great idea. The execution was just real piss poor. But anyways, so the settlements were totally lacking in like RPG role-playing game value, because once you built the settlement, all you're really doing is just making sure they have enough food and power, and very, very minor amount of defense. And it really doesn't matter which defense you use, because the random attacks were pretty lame, way too scripted, and way too just way too predictable. And so So yeah, you didn't really care about the settlements, and if anything, it just felt like background grinding or whatever, which didn't really feel like it gave it any sort of value or substance. And so The mods totally fixed that. Gave them lore and stories and quests and all kinds of fun stuff. But and it made it more like it made it feel more like an actual settlement where like your time and effort put into it felt more rewarding. By trying to create a settlement. So Bethesda totally dropped the ball on that one. Fallout 4 could have been like a really, really great game, and the mod community shows you just how to actually make a good game. And so hopefully in the future they learn their lesson, which of course they won't, but that would be cool if they did. Anyways, I eat for dinner, lots of veggies. That's a good job, Mike. Yeah, a bit like Little Big Planet 3. It's awful launch. The community is what makes the game good. Yeah. So, like I said, there are so many games out there. Just like Subnautica was another example. I was saying, like, there was definitely ways mods could have fixed Subnautica, even though the ones I played weren't that great. Satisfactory is another good example. Satisfactory. The burnout value is really quick. It has some replay value, and they haven't even released the full thing yet, which is hilarious because the mod community is already fixing their pre-release game, which is just hilarious. But anyways, it's kind of an ongoing joke with Satisfactory that it's still in pre-release. But anyways, whenever they do finally release the full version of Satisfactory, I already know it's still going to be lame and gay because I already know mostly what they're aiming for. So the mod community has definitely already fixed Satisfactory. I can't remember the name of my favorite mod. It's the Dyson Sphere one, the one that the final boss is the Dyson Sphere port pyramid thing. And I think that's also the same one that introduces like farms and stuff. I think you can farm in that mod. Maybe that's a separate mod. I can't remember. But anyways, Satisfactory Plus I think is the one that just adds like all the new recipes and even more mining materials and stuff like that. So obviously that's one way to increase the value of Satisfactory. Even though at some point it may get a little too overwhelming and just too many steps and stuff, but that's kind of the magic of Satisfactory. You got to find that balance between too much stuff to do and not enough stuff to do. So, and the mod community is pretty good at exploring that. So, but yeah, these are really cool games. They had really great potential to be the greatest game ever. So, like I said, a modded Satisfactory combined with a modded Subnautica would be like the greatest game ever. Can you only imagine having a Satisfactory game that is connected to a Subnautica game, all in the same world, with all of the mods installed, all of the, making everything better mods. And then, just for giggles, combine that with like Fallout 4's settlement building, world building, and a few NPCs here and there. Kind of like a Fallout world, where you just got like little outposts here and there that you can go visit and stuff like that. I mean, dude, there's just all kinds of cool stuff. Mike, you're hiding in your closet because somebody's here. Someone's in your house. Oh no. I hope you're okay. Be careful. Call the police if they're bad people. I mean, Subnautica said that they're going to launch Sub 3 in 2024, but he didn't, and now they're saying they're going to do it in Tree's years. Yeah, Subnautica 2 was pretty lame, and so I haven't even bought it yet or played it yet because I saw the reviews and a couple of playthroughs and stuff, and I don't feel any need to even go out and get it because it's like I'd rather go back and play OG Subnautica again just to scratch that itch. But yeah, I don't know. Finally caught up my ingots. We good on ingots. Alright, good on those ingots. Something I think Satisfactory could do is a new map. Because once you finish this one, it's kind of boring once you finish it. Yeah, that's the problem, Train Guy. It's probably too hard to make this kind of game like infinite or, random generating maps for this style of game. I kind of like the fixed map design of this world, but yeah, like you said, just a new map or a bigger map or whatever. Sure. It's not so much the map as the problem with Satisfactory. It's more like the goal. Like, what's the goal of this game other than to get a coffee cup, And again, we're still waiting for final release, but I feel like it's going to be so anticlimactic because everyone who's been playing Satisfactory for decades now feels like I don't even know how long it's been out. Years. Been playing this game for so many years. Obviously, it's going to be no real big surprise. Did you explore the caves in Satisfactory? I explored every inch of the original map. I check in every once in a while whenever they update Satisfactory maps, but there's really nothing. Again, there's nothing really to explore. I mean, their caves aren't really explorer quality caves. It's just like a little, garage. It's like exploring a garage or something. The caves are very, very, very small and limited, and they're always just full of spiders and stuff. And sometimes there's not even any loot worth the time and trouble to go through a cave, and so I'm sure they're still trying to figure out in their head what's the best way to lay them out and stuff, but they're pretty lame. So the world is good enough. I mean, it's good enough just to entertain you and feel like you're exploring a little bit and stuff, and so it's decent, but needs a few mods. If anything, Subnautica needs way bigger overhaul. It needs a way bigger map, and it needs automation mods in Subnautica. And I mean, there was just so much potential in that game. There's so many things they could have done with that game that like they could have done in Subnautica 2, for example, or the expansion pack, which they call it's Subnautica 2. It's not an expansion pack because you're not even in the same world anymore. You're just in a whole different little map. Anyways, but yeah, if they combine Subnautica into Satisfactory, that would solve both problems. Like, it would create the automation that Subnautica is missing, and it would make the world way bigger and way more to explore that Satisfactory is missing. Because Satisfactory is pretty shallow when you think about it. It's like everyone said, once you explore the surface, that's it. Because people talk about caves like that's a thing or something, but the caves are so small, it's not really exploration. It's just like, there's a cave. It goes 10 feet back into the ground, and that's it. There's nothing to explore. So if you had like a Subnautica ocean out there where you could not only explore the ocean, but then you go deep into the ocean into like a lost sea cave, and then you explore even further into like the lava lake, you know, sub levels of the ocean, then now you're talking. That would be like a super awesome game. So, anyways, future game developers, there's the answer. Just copy and paste these games together and mod the heck out of them. And there you go. There's the greatest game ever to come out for 1,000 years. And you can make it like multiplayer option. You can make like Fallout 4 communities option, settlement options, where if you don't want to play multiplayer, you could do like an NPC version where the computer will play with you and trade stuff with you, and you can either fight them or ally with them and stuff like that. And I mean, there's just so much potential in that kind of game. And so if someone would just send me $1 billion, I would totally develop this game and make it real and sell it for $49.99, and it would be the greatest. It would be the last game you'd ever have to buy. And then we'd sell DLC later on, you know, like new maps, new materials, and yada yada yada. You wouldn't have to buy the core game all over again or buy a new game, because you don't really need a new game once you have something like that. Like once you have Satisfactory plus Subnautica with a Fallout 4 twist, you don't ever need to buy another game after that, because like I said, we can just sell DLC, you know, like new regions to explore and new NPC characters to bring the plot twists or something. Like maybe your world building, you like the drama and stuff, and so, you know, a new bad guy appears or a new monster evolves and you have to, like, you know, harvest it and kill it or something, or blah 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 blah. You know, there's all kinds of fun stuff you could do. In my playthrough, I got like 100 of those alien artifact things, and I'm still waiting to find their use. Ditto, man. Yeah, I found all the stuff, and they have no use. And, oh, there you go. There's another thing, Train Guy. You just reminded me. Another broken thing about Satisfactory is stupid stuff like plutonium waste. So, originally it was uranium waste you couldn't get rid of, and now they recreated the exact same problem by fixing the old problem. They said, okay, you know, you can use a particle accelerator to recycle uranium waste. Well, then they just recreated plutonium waste, which is the exact same problem. So that's just so retarded. It's like, I mean, they better fix plutonium waste in the final release, or I will boycott them just out of spite, because that's so dumb. That's just too dumb. But again, mods fix that for you. So there's plenty of mods out there where you can just, you know, awesome sink the waste. Or I think there's some mods out there where you can actually like recycle them into something else, which is, you know, way better idea. But, you know, again, just to fix butthead developers, you know, you can just sink it and get rid of it. But yeah, it's little stupid stuff like that. That's the main gripes I have with this game, is just real stupid stuff that obviously they're just being dumb on purpose to be annoying. So I hate the lies that they make. That's like a loop, and then they say, or I'm going to give you free Roblox if you guys spam your usernames in chat and subscribe. Then everyone just subscribe. Yeah, I agree, Mike. There's a lot of grifting going on in video games these days, so it is probably user error, says Bunker Housing. What is user error? What you talking about, Willis? Why have you not coated in concrete? Coated what in concrete? The floors? What you talking about, Willis? Why haven't I done what in concrete? Like, what are you talking about? You need to change them to concrete. Oh, the floor tiles? Okay. Here, I'll make one just for you, buddy. There you go. There's your concrete. Feel better? Just for you, bunker housing. I know you can paint them in concrete, dude. Look, I painted my water pipes blue. Yeah, the foundations. Yeah, I know. I see it. Look, right there on screen. Concrete. We have concrete. And you know you can also do metal? Look at this. Wow, metal. And coated concrete? Did you know there's coated concrete? And asphalt? Wow, look at all the buttons I'm pushing. Yep, just the one. You only get the one bunker housing. You have to pay for the rest. No, I don't have to do anything. I like my default floor squares. Yeah, dude. This isn't a pretty playthrough. This is a get all the parts up and running playthrough. So I'll make it pretty later, but right now I'm not in any sort of rush to make anything pretty yet. So I appreciate the feedback, but yeah, I already knew you could customize the tiles and stuff. I just haven't done that yet. So, but there you go. There's some custom tiles just for you, buddy. They look bad. You don't like your little grilled, vented, rubber dotted default foundations? What's wrong with you, buddy? What you got against squares? I kind of like the grid look. It kind of helps me line up middle line shots a lot and stuff. But yeah, the concrete does look nice. I'll give you that. It is pretty looking. What do you think of the crosshatch sheet metal? That's pretty fancy. And of course, good old asphalt for cars. I tell you what, bunker housing, just for you, I am going to go paint my garage. Sound good, buddy? There you go. Look at that ugly default square garage. Oh, poor bunker housing. He's probably like, oh, I can't stand that. So I'll tell you what, buddy. Just for you, we are going to make it look pretty. Pretty squares. Pretty squares. Now, should the sidewalks be coated concrete or should it be plain concrete? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think there, bunker? Do you like the coated concrete sidewalks or do you like the plain concrete sidewalks? They look almost like those tiles before zebra crossings. I'm gonna go on my VR. Bye. Later, Mike. Bugger, you can pack in the conveyors and walls and floor when the computer does not have to display. It will put less work on the processing. That's a good tip. Thanks, Bunker. Normal blocks. I code everything in concrete. And that's good. I go back and make everything pretty when I have that much free time. But right now I'm still in the process of building my mega universal factory, so when I'm done with it I'll come back and make everything look pretty. The original tiles look like those, yeah. Okay, so there you go, Bunker. Just for you, buddy. Just because you showed up and wanted to see. You wanted to see some pretty tiles. There you go, buddy. Where's the stripes painting for these things? I can't find it. Where's the stripes painting on these things? Is it on foundations? Architecture? You do not. I can place them as concrete directly. You do not have to paint them. You can make shortcut to painted concrete and lay it down directly. That's good. How do you paint the road stripes, like the center stripe and the side stripes? I can't remember that one. It's in Customizer? Swatch? Nope. That you have this number for you can replace it with concrete. Yeah, I know you can. You know, pick one of your number tool belts for that. Yeah, I get it. I get you, bro. So walls, roof, customizer. I think I bought everything from the shop. Let me go check. Pretty sure it did. Check materials. There's materials right there. There's all my materials. Maybe I didn't get the painted stripes materials. Have you bought them? That's what I'm going to go check. I'm pretty sure I cleaned out the store, so good to help out a noob. Well, I'm not exactly noob, but yeah. So awesome shop. I mean, is it under management? Foundations? Walls? Architecture? Customizer? Oh, I didn't buy them yet. I forgot to scroll down. Silly me. There you go, guys. You called it. I done goofed. I thought I bought everything. I was like, in my head I bought everything, but I forgot to go and click all the buttons. My bad, guys. My bad. Maybe I am a noob. You're right, Bunker. I am a noob. Only a noob would have forgot that he didn't buy all the things. Okay, now I bought all the things, and I'll even just buy all this silly stuff just to make sure I don't forget it later. You get the tickets from the ticket machine. Silly. See, look. Just dumping stuff. You just dump them and then you leave the unused ones there. Yeah, so while I was building the Universal Factory, if you just keep dumping stuff, you get lots of tickets. So now, who's the noob asking silly questions? You know where they come from. So now I can paint my road pretty for you. So let's make it pretty looking. Center line. Bloop. Well, that's what universal factories are for. You can dump all the. I mean, you can even dump elevator parts. By the way, I don't know if you knew that, but if you dump space elevator parts, you get all kinds of money for that too. Yeah, I do that too. I position by what I need. But like I said, this isn't my first playthrough, and you can tell I've been here a while since I have all of the technology unlocked and all of the parts made. The only thing I haven't done yet is the final space elevator, which I don't care about because I don't need the coffee cup to feel special. But the only thing I haven't done yet is create my nuclear power plant, which is a future project I'm going to do somewhere over there. Because first I'm just doing a speed run where nothing looks pretty, and the spaghetti mess, looks very messy and disorganized. So all the OCD people are spurging out right now watching the layout of my factory here, including the unpretty squares, as you pointed out. So yeah, I've got like plenty of parts. The final is not going to be there for version 1.0 release. The final is just a placeholder. Oh yeah. We don't know what the final reward is, or the final boss. Hopefully they make a final boss for like I said, the mod version has like a Dyson sphere, which is awesome. I love that kind of. That's a goal that you want to feel like you're working towards. So, but you can build them directly in concrete. I believe you. I'm not saying you can't. Okay, here I'm going to do it just for you, just to show you I understand your point. So, okay. So if you have a concrete square and you copy it, I get it. You can place them just as fast as regular squares. I understand, Bunker. When I first built my factory, I didn't care. I wasn't making it pretty yet. This isn't a pretty factory, as you might have guessed by the spaghetti mess. Does this look pretty and organized to you? Not really. So I understand you can quickly do the things. So but thanks for sharing that with me. I get it. I understand that that's an option. And in the future, I may be coming back and making this factory super pretty. I mean, it's already kind of organized as far as the layout is concerned. Obviously, I got spaghetti mess to clean up, and so that's going to take a long time, and maybe a whole nother layer of layout, because I may not have saved myself enough room for like a bus bar kind of space. I haven't figured that out yet. I'm still thinking about how I want to lay it out, but I'm not even there yet. I'm still finishing the original factory, so I just finished turbo motors, so I'm about 99% done with the product making side of the factory. So yeah, we're just about there, buddy. Patience. Speaking of which, I don't think I ever connected my... See, I didn't even connect my turbo motors yet. I got turbo motors just sitting there on a belt. So, I need to go add to the Hall of Fame turbo motors. Thanks for reminding me. I was so busy talking, I totally forgot I'm not done with all the goodies. And yes, I know I'm clipping and stuff, and I don't care because I'm just getting it done first, then I'll make it look pretty later. And there we go. Voila. We have turbo motor. I wish you would be able to place rails like conveyors. Rails like What do you mean rails? Like railroad track rails, or what do you mean rails? You mean like railways? You wish you could play like conveyors? What does that mean? I hope they get a better way to place rails. What's wrong with rails now? Because you can't place them on like sides and tops and bottoms of structures? Is that what you're saying? Like the way it automatically grips to the sides or something? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I know how to place conveyors. I don't understand your question though. Like what's different about rails? That you can only place them on tops of surfaces? Is that your problem? And you want to be able to... I wish they would make it so you can place rails the same way as conveyors. The only thing I can guess what you mean is like the way conveyors automatically snap to the sides and bottoms of structures. Is that what you're talking about? If that's what you mean, I guess that's kind of true. But if you put it on the bottom of structures, the train rails are hard to place when trying to turn or elevation. Well, that's true too. I mean, they got to keep it kind of real. I mean, even conveyors have elevation limits. Like you can't put an elevation straight up on a conveyor without doing a lift or something. So that's already a different step. And I see your point about like side clipping automatically on like a floor or something. That would be kind of cool, I guess. But I've never run into that problem myself because I always just build rails on a flat floor or something, you know. And there's a elevation limit, which, you know, again, all Satisfactoryers know that it's a 2 meter. As long as you don't climb faster than 2 meters per block, your rails are fine. So Yeah, and yeah, everyone knows turning is a pain in the butt, but once you learn the rule, you already know the answer. So all you gotta do is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. There you go. There's the answer. As long as you do the proper amount of turning, you're good. Trying to show you an example, but like you said, sometimes it's just a pain in the butt. So you go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And there's your turn. There you go. But yeah, it would be nice if there was like a auto piece, like an auto corner piece for rails, like a 90-degree turn, or not 90-degree. Yeah, that's a 90-degree turn. So like a 90-degree turn that automatically, clips for you. I agree. This extra step is a little annoying that it takes that time. But yeah, that's something they could fix in a final release or a mod or whatever. I mean, it's good enough for now. Like I said, it's once you master those main steps, that's most of the work. So just don't be a noob. I agree. I love what he said. Giving me a noob advice. Look, dude, I forgot to buy all the stuff. Doesn't make me a noob. Wish they would fix that. Yeah, me too. I wish they'd fix that too. I agree. I wish they'd fix all the things. I wish game developers would fix their games before they sell them and have to patch them every day to make things work. My factory's hungry for some quick wire. Hungry quick wire. Have to make some more later. Anyways, what would you at the most annoying thing in Satisfactory is train guy. So most annoying thing for me right now is the fact that you cannot get rid of plutonium waste. Something in Satisfactory that really grinds my gears is kind of a small thing, but when you place a ramp foundation, a ramp wall on the side, you can't put them but a handrail on top. I don't think I understand what you're saying. When you place a ramp foundation, a ramp wall on the side, you can't put a handrail on top. When you place a ramp and a ramp wall, you can't put a handrail on top. You can put a handrail on top of the wall. I think you mean like the default handrail or something. So The sloped wall. There's a sloped wall. Already built there. Look at that. Ha ha! Solved the problem for you. So the answer is build your handrail first and then put the sloped wall on it. Check it out. Handrail, sloped wall. Bam and bam. You're welcome. But yeah, it's kind of dumb that you can't do it backwards. You can't do it the other way. So like you said originally, you're welcome, train guy. See, and Bunker was calling me a noob, and I'm sitting here teaching people skills. So, like you said, you were actually correct the first time, train guy. If you put a sloped wall on a ramp, it won't let you build the handrail on top of the sloped wall because it says identical buildable is already built there. So it's like saying you can't build two side things at the same time, which is a lie because I just did it. So once again, Satisfactory developers, fix your code, bro. But anyways, yeah, sometimes it's just silly code. You can paint the sloped wall in concrete. Bunker, I think I'm going to have an intervention for you, buddy. I think you're addicted to telling me that you can do things in concrete, as if I didn't already know that. So, hello? Concrete. Concrete. I thought you could. Oh, foundation material, sorry. I was trying to do a foundation paint on it. Yes, Bunker, you're right. I can paint sloped walls a texture as well. Thank you for reminding me about that. And so the possibilities are endless. You can make steel walls, and you can make concrete walls, and you can put handrails on your right next to your sloped walls, but you have to do the handrails first and then put your sloped walls, which train guy just learned today. So, and I learned that today too, because like I said, I almost never do pretty builds, but there you go. That's how you do it. So one more time, just for those that didn't catch it. Wait a minute. What the? Did I just say you can't do this and now you can? How did it? Is my brain farting or something, or didn't we just say you can't do that? Hold on. Now I'm confused. If you put a sloped wall here, are you seeing the same thing I'm seeing, or am I imagining this? How did I just add a handrail on top of a sloped wall when we just said you can't do that? Hold on a second. What is this black magic? Sloped wall, and then a handrail. An identical buildable is already built there. But yet, here's a sloped wall. And you can build it. What? This is the original wall. I wonder, is it this paint? The orange paint won't let you put a handrail on it? What kind of stupidity is that? Oh my goodness, this code is so broken. Can you do it on concrete walls? Yeah, I unlocked the black magic code. I can now do black magic in Satisfactory. Okay, so only orange paint sidewalls prevent you from putting handrails on, train guy. So the answer is, if you paint your sidewalls metal or concrete, you can put handrails on them. But if you use the default orange paint walls, you can't put handrails on them. Oh man. Now see, developers, this is why this makes your customers angry. So when we're trying to build our worlds and we have logic in our brains where you tell us we can't do things, but then we can, and we can't figure out why we can do it. That's why your customers get angry. So at least be consistent. Why would orange paint stop the code from allowing you to put handrails on it? I thought the code only cares about the structure, like the shape you're building it on. You can build it in the air if you want to. There you go, buddy. If you have an orange block, just build it in the air. That's the answer, train guy. See, you weren't thinking like the developers were thinking. They were thinking, don't let it slant on the slope like the steel walls and the concrete walls. Just put it flat in the air above the orange walls. Duh. Obviously. See, train guy, you're not thinking like developer logic. So if you want to put some handrails on a sloped wall, you do it flat in the air. Don't slope it on the orange part. Just go straight across. But if you have metal walls or concrete walls, then it'll slope right on top of it. This is the obvious answer, train guy. What's wrong with you, train guy? Are you a noob? Are you a noob like me and didn't know to spend all your coupons on the black magic unlock in the store? If you buy black magic like I did, you too will have these magical powers. So note to developers, you might want to fix that code just in case someone else notices it and points out how silly that is. We're all noobs here, train guy, don't feel bad. I didn't even know that you could spend all your coupons. I thought you could only spend half of them. Because I forgot to buy the paint for the other stuff. Anyways, yeah, so that's a perfect example of why we're still in early release. It's an early release, guys. Don't give them a hard time. Anyways, let me finish painting this for Bunker Guy because he's very angry that I use default textures and stuff. So here you go, Bunker Guy. Here's your pretty. Can't afford. Color cartridges. So you need color cartridges for this stuff, so skip it. I don't care. I'm not doing it. I refuse, Bunker. This is the best you're going to get. You're going to get pretty sidewalks, some standard concrete underneath the building, some asphalt for the road, and voila. Pretty, pretty blocks have been made. So there you go, bunker. That's all I'm going to give you. So, yeah, there you go. And Train Guy learned something new today. So, he learned that don't try to put diagonal handrails on the orange paint. The orange paint is no-no. Orange paint means don't do handrails, or black magic will occur. But if you do diagonally shaped steel and or concrete, then you can put handrails on them. So, duh, everybody knows that. Quit being noobs, guys. Use your brains. After all of that. Dude, I have like thousands of hours in this game, and I just now noticed that. So, like I said, you know, we're all noobs in Satisfactory. There is no master. Even the developers haven't mastered Satisfactory yet, because they don't understand how logic works. So, we'll wait until they figure it out. Anyways, developers, if you're listening, final release, better figure out a way to destroy or recycle plutonium waste, or I will come to your office and punch you in the nose. So, don't make me angry. Hulk smash. Anyways, also, if you could do me a favor and not overcomplicate uranium power, because the freaking city you have to build every time you want to do a power plant is kind of overkill and kind of defeats the purpose of feeling like it's an upgrade. Because if you have to build a small city which requires half if not, you know, most of the power you're using to power the power plant, then it kind of feels like you're just spinning your wheels, you know? I mean, at least coal feels efficient and oil feels efficient. Like, it feels like you're getting your money's worth out of those. But most people feel like, you know, nuclear power would, you know, solve their power problems, but it really doesn't give you that much additional power in the long run, because the city building and the logistics and the time and energy all wasted into getting the nuke city up and running just feels like you're getting about a oil plant's worth of power out of it. And so I would rather just max out all the oil plants instead of, you know, killing myself just to get nuke power up and running, which, by the way, cannot recycle or destroy plutonium waste. So hopefully they're going to fix that in the final one with alien technology or whatever. Great, that's fine, I don't care, just do it. Do it. Anyways, okay, so there's my only gripe. Plutonium waste, things that make logical sense while you're building, and someone else asked for easier tracks. So give the man some easier tracks, which are here, railways. He wants easier railways that turn easier and slope easier. Elevation easier. I mean, I agree that the elevations are pretty picky. I mean, a train should be able to do that elevation right there. And the turning is really wonky, especially when it turns and turns and turns again. It gets stupid. So, like, when you turn and then you try and turn again to straighten out your turn, and then you think you're going straight, but it's not straight because it's turned again or something. I mean, I got lucky with that one, but there's a lot of turns that don't turn like you want it to turn, and then it won't go straight when you want it to go straight. And so I think I know what he's talking about there. There's a little bit of wonkiness to that. You know, you're like, I want to go straight here, but you can't go straight there because it's not straight. Then you gotta turn it again and turn it again. Maybe some sort of auto straightener algorithm that, you know, it figures out you're trying to go straight here and then straight here, and you can't quite get it to turn exactly the way you want it to. Or some kind of tool, not, you know, like some visual indication that tells you that you did go straight and you're back to going straight again instead of being diagonally going into the square. You know what I mean? So, like, why won't that straighten out right there? Why can't I just straighten it out from right there? And so, I mean, I guess one way you could do it is like start with a straight piece. And then, see, like I can't connect it because it won't curve into that. So then you have to like back it way up. So there you go, buddy, train guy. That's one way you can like force it to be nice, is like if it's being stupid, just brute force it, you know, where you want. But I agree. I mean, that should be able to straighten out way before that curve. That's just stupid that it has to like realign that way. Like, this should be able to turn into a straight line. There's no reason why this shouldn't be able to just whatever. But yeah, I kind of get you where it's like, and see, you have to like keep backing it up more and more and more until you run out of straight track to tie into. But I feel you. I know what you're talking about. It can be frustrating. So maybe they can iron out some more of those kinks. Pun intended. But yeah. So they still got some logic to get through, some decent lore to toss in. That was one of my original gripes with Satisfactory, was it needs like at least Subnautica level amounts of lore in it to make you feel like you're in a real world dealing with real things. Yeah, what I normally do is build all my tracks at 90/45s and try to add curves after the thing. Exactly. I mean, I have been through so many train track building exercises where I wish the tracks were more forgiving or flexible or something, and I know exactly what you mean. I mean, you have to plan out way in advance. You know, like way out there where your train tracks are coming into the station. Because by the time you get into the station, everything better be perfectly straight and perfectly 90 and even 45. 45 is a bitch to deal with. I don't even know the 45 rule. I just remember the 90 rule because, you know, turning. Because when you got to turn, you know, from north to southwest, or, you know, south to east or whatever. I just remember the 90-degree rule, and then all of my train tracks are 90 degrees. They're like, turn here, go straight. Turn here, go straight. Turn here, go straight. And so, because, yeah, curves are a bitch. I hate when they start curving naturally and stuff like that. It gets all wonky. So. And then the OCD kicks in. That'll drive your OCD nuts when you're like, everything looks nice and perfect grid oriented, and then you got some stupid drunk railway trying to like curve all around your straight lines, and you're trying to force it to go straight, but it won't because it needs that whole giant turning radius to get there, and then it fucks up your whole base because you have to like back it up all the way out to here to like turn before it gets to the station. I feel your pain, bro. I feel your pain. I don't know what they can do other than just fidgeting with the code some more and making unrealistic. I guess they're trying to make it wide turns so that trains can't naturally turn on a dime like that. So that kind of makes sense, and I understand where they're going with that, and that's fine and all. But yeah, train guy. It's just part of how much realism do you want, and how much easy buildings, stuff that you want. So personally, it didn't bother me that much. I mean, I agree. It's a little, like you said, it's a little gripe, but I'd rather them fix the other things first, which we won't know until final release. So they keep hiding behind the fact that this is early release, so technically you can't complain about anything. So that's a cop out, bitch, because this game has been out for years, so they definitely should have been final release by now. But yeah, either have two modes in playthrough, don't care as long as it works, or spend hours making mundane things pretty. There you go, train guy. See if you can guess what mode I'm in right now. Am I in make sure all of the squares look like concrete, or the other thing you said? Because Bunker Guy was having trouble trying to figure out visually what mode I'm in, and so good job, train guy, for spotting that obvious thing that we're all watching right now. I get it. There is a way to make everything pretty, fancy, and organized, and I used to do those playthroughs a long time ago. So ironically, even though I tell myself this one's gonna be a super organized OCD perfection playthrough, once I get playing, I quickly say fuck that, and then I just make everything work. And then I go right back to spaghetti mess, and then I have like hours and hours of stuff to fix. But yeah, I feel like I'm getting closer to my final art form, where I've been practicing this enough where I know where things are going to lay out. See, like this layout I know by heart by now, so this will definitely appear in my final layout in the future, because I know where stuff is at, I know where I want it to go, and I know how everything kind of plays nice with the scenery and everything, including the giant fucking ghost stingray that fucks up your factory by obviously phasing through it, So, see, there's another little gripe I have, is like, either make him run into the wall and die, or, for shits and giggles, make him, destroy your base for building it despite knowing he's going to fly through it or something. Or make him smart enough to know that if this base gets in his way, he'll just go around it or go over it or something like that, I mean, I can't imagine the code is that hard to figure out, how to detect collision, and if collision, reroute higher path or something like that, just make him go around it or above it, but not through the, obviously, he's on a rail, he's on a code rail where he never changes. I'm glad they chose the ghost path where he just magically phases through everything, so obviously he doesn't fuck up your factory or whatever. I was kind of joking about, breaking everything, but I mean, obviously I should plan around it and build around it, which I kind of did. See, that's why I left this huge gap in my base, because I'm trying to remember if I want to, move everything around him, or if the developers could just add a couple of lines of code and let me build like I want to, and then make the ghost stingray go around or above my build. Little stuff like that, that would just make the game much more realistic and fun. So, but yeah. obvious stuff needs to be fixed. So, I thought of my number 2 gripe, by the way. I already told you my number 1 gripe. My number 1 gripe is obviously just finishing the game, and making sure plutonium waste has somewhere to go, either recycled or, shit canned. Number 2 gripe, which they kind of started fixing. You remember original vanilla Satisfactory where you had like one slot for all of the things? Either you had to wear legs, or you had to wear your pack, or your filter suits. Look how long it took them to figure out this obvious answer. Which they still haven't answered, by the way. Why can't I wear a parachute in addition to my hover pack or my jet pack? Or why can't you combine the jet pack with the hover pack and call it the multi pack, or the hover plus pack, that has jet pack abilities or something like that? And so anyone who's familiar with the mod community already knows exactly what I'm talking about. The mods fix this. You put, all of the abilities into one unit that you can wear, and you can upgrade it and all that stuff. So, that's the obvious answer. But look how long it's taking the developers to figure this out. And they barely even figured out the number 1 step they should have done, was at least separate these things so that you can, wear the same things at the same time. Bro, the cops targeted me this morning. I'm out driving them, lol. Good luck, Jack. Don't let them take you alive. Yeah, I think they should spend more time on improving what they have than adding new things. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You don't even have to add new things. You just take all the things you already have and incorporate them better. So, for example, if I was out running around the world and I'm not anywhere near a power station, so obviously the hover pack won't work, and I forget to switch on my parachute or whatever, and then I fall to my death off a mountain or something, I should always have the parachute automatically equipped, once I unlocked the technology and built it and equipped it. Or vice versa. Like when I'm not using hover pack, it should automatically switch to jet pack. So if I'm not near a power station, it should just automatically equip my jetpack for me, so I don't have to remember to keep switching back and forth, especially in the middle of a fall or something like that, and you're like, oh shoot, did I put on my pack? I can't remember. Or just combine them. And so when you're near a power station, your jetpack becomes a hover pack. I mean, this is so obvious. It's just so obvious. The mods already figured this out. Why can't you guys figure this out? And even better, we should be able to upgrade it to fun things like force fields or different fuel types or different power sources and yada 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 yada. So mods fixed it. Hopefully the developers will fix it. At least they finally got this step done. This took way too long. This shows you how retarded the developers are. It took them this long to figure out this very simple, obvious answer. And this was so frustrating. At the beginning of the game, to have to decide which one you're wearing was just so dumb. It's so dumb. And it's still dumb because they still haven't fixed the parachute / jetpack / hover pack dilemma. And so easily could be fixed, but they're just being dumb about it on purpose. Maybe they're going to unlock the greatest answer in final version, hopefully, and it just, copy pasta the mod version where it's like one universal pack that upgrades and all the stuff. So yeah, and has a built-in parachute in case all power sources fail. Like you're nowhere near power and you just ran out of jet fuel and you're like way out in the middle of the mountains and you're falling to your death. and you have no power and no fuel, and you got your universal pack equipped, and then the automatic parachute deploys, to make sure you don't fall to your death or whatever, which you can, cut the cord if you want to manually free fall for a period of time or whatever, and then redeploy, shoot or whatever. That would be fine, but at least an automatic shoot that kicks in when all else fails. Like when your hover pack, your electricity fails and your fuel fails and all the jet hovering fails and you're falling, then the parachute just deploys just to make sure you don't fall to your death because you slipped off the edge of a mountain or something or whatever. That's it. Those are my two major gripes. So fix those and we good. Which they won't, of course, because that would be too obvious. I just kept turning. They stupid. I got cameras on my house which will show they aggressively came at me. Why are the cops harassing you, bro? Because you turned and turned again? They don't like when people turn? I'm glad you agree, Train Guy. We're on the same page there. So, it's a fun game. I enjoy it. Like I said, I'm not poo-pooing on it too much. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying there's so many things that they could have easily fixed that would make it a million times better. And so, they're really great about mods. So, kudos to the devs of Satisfactory for making mods super easy. And so, like I heard Subnautica was like way harder to mod. That's why it took so long to even get any decent mods and stuff. And so, if you're going to make an incomplete game, at least make it easily moddable. But there are obvious things that the developers can fix in their original vanilla game, though. So I don't like to have to use mods unless I have to, and so that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. That's obvious. That you shouldn't have to explain that to them. So yeah, now I'm on the phone filing complaint. Our cops aren't even born here either. Sorry to hear that, buddy. I hope the quality of your police enforcement gets better over time. But yeah, that's a bummer, dude. Why cops gotta harass you? Have you tried obeying the law? Stop breaking the law! But yeah, that too. But yeah, sometimes there's like dumb laws that are abused and stuff. So if that's what you're talking about, yeah, I feel you. Okay, I think I'm mostly done with the Universal Factory now. I can't think of anything else I need to make. I'm putting off nuclear power on purpose for all the reasons I just said. So anyone who's saying you're not done yet until you do the nuclear power, but I'll get around to that eventually. I'll probably make things pretty before I do nuclear power. Yeah, at least you don't have to deal with all the UK riots. Oh man, you're in UK, Train Guy? Sorry to hear that. That's got to be lame. Yeah, obviously Jack is Canada, and I'm in America, so we're not quite as dumb as you guys yet, but we're trying to catch up as quickly as we can because apparently America thinks, hey, look how dumb Canada and the UK is. Let's be just as dumb as they are. And so, yeah, y'all got so many dumb politics going on in your countries that, yeah, I feel sorry for you guys. That's got to suck. But you're in luck, Train Guy. I talk politics on this channel, so if you want to come by and talk politics with me, try to catch me on a live stream panel. Sometimes I do open panels and stuff. I'm going to be changing formats here pretty soon. I used to do just complete open panels, but that's garbage. So now I'm doing like a quality panel with like garbage hot seat. That way anyone from chat can jump on and do an open hot seat. And then the regular panel guys will be like all the you know, the smart guys with the solutions and the stuff like that. And so check it out, you might like it. Anyways, it's the same channel. It's just if you look at my playlist, you can see where I kind of sort different topics and materials. And so right now you're watching my video game stream, but I also do philosophy chat and politics debate and stuff like that. So check it out. See if you like it. We got all kinds of British people there and Canadians. So it's not just for Americans. It's aimed at Americans, but you know, if you really feel strongly about politics and you want to get it off your chest, you can vent there as well. So the problem with like Europe and Canada is those countries are gone, so there's really nothing left to debate. You know, like as much as I'd like to help out UK and Canada, both of those places have been completely overrun by, you know, socialist dictatorships. So there's really nothing you can do at this point. You can't vote your way out, or, you know, make any changes or make anything better. So most people just bail out of the country, but then they come to America thinking that we have freedom and you know, sensible government and stuff like that, and then they find out, nope, we're just as bad as those other places. So that's why I'm fighting it so passionately, because I don't want America to become another European socialist shithole, or, you know, just Canada Part 2 or whatever. So yeah, so hopefully I can change some minds and get people more active in their political system, and before it's too late and all the commies take over and then we're all left wing. So yeah, if that floats your boat, I occasionally get into that stuff. I might be getting into it more soon. I don't know. I've been looking for anybody worth talking to, so haven't found any of that lately. So if you find someone who's worth talking to, let me know and I'll check them out. Yeah, so anyways, until then, enjoy the video games and the factories and stuff and the technologies and the beautiful, beautiful painted foundations, just like Bunker Guy said. We must make our things beautiful, because default is for chumps. Look at all this ugly default gray squares and pipes and belts. See, I try to kind of make it pretty, but then you can see where I was like, screw it. You know? So, there's probably a way to make that prettier. I'm still kind of on the fence on how to really organize and present the bus bars here, because something about it just doesn't really swing with me, especially when they start alternating and so I mean, yeah, that's pretty clean. But, first of all, why does that clip if that's the way it's designed to be? Do you notice that it said yellow clipping, and it's not supposed to be touching anything? So that's dumb. Yeah, I think honestly the sports look too thin for all of the products on that, and just whether or not they're truly modular. Because for me, it looks like it's not even. Is that slanted? Am I blind, or does that look slanted? What's happening here? What is happening here? Is that slanted? Is that just me, or is that slanted? Am I losing my mind? This conveyor belt right here looks like it's slanted. How's that slanted? I snapped it to the supports. Hello, computer. What the? Is this black magic again? Am I doing black magic? What's going on here? Why is that slanted? Why are the others straight, but that one's slanted? Is it because it's below a pipe or something? Like what's going on here? Why are you slanted? Stop being a pain in the butt. See, look, it's a conveyor thing. What am I not seeing? I don't understand this. Hold on. Okay, so I'm snapping to the existing structure. And then all I'm doing is adding conveyors from support to support. And so why was that one slanted? See, dude, this is what I'm talking about. Like, why do things happen that don't make... Was it the pipe? Is the pipe making things slanted? Okay, we're going to try this one more time. And if there's black magic fuckery going on, I'm going to be angry. Okay, so... correct me if I'm wrong, but are these things not supposed to snap to each other? Like, you can do pipes on belts, or you can just do pipes on pipes, and you can do belts on pipes. So you can do... you know... See, I already don't like this, but I'll tell you why in a second. But at least it works in theory. Okay, so train guy. Question 1. What's wrong with this picture? Can you see anything wrong with their default layout of the way these things stack? You see how dumb that is? I mean, that looks like it's clipping, is it not? That's probably clipping. That's clipping, you bastards. This shit drives my OCD crazy. Now, if this is the default position of the thing that you're snapping, the pipe is clipping through the belt, the conveyor belt. You can't see that? This is what they set up as the default position. That's fucking retarded. It's okay when a belt is underneath a pipe, because obviously there's no conflict there. But if you got a pipe... stupid fucking power. This is another thing that pisses me off. Power needs to reach further. If you got a pipe beneath a belt, it's going to clip into it. And this is by default their vanilla code. This is fucking retarded. Now, whether or not some black magic happens, I'm going to have to find out now, because apparently this shit is going to drive me fucking insane. Okay, so if you have pipes on top of belts, and now it's not doing it. It was slanted before. I know I saw that. I don't know how I did it, but now it's straight. Okay, so far so good, because you saw it and I saw it. I even recreated it twice, and so some kind of fuckery was going on where it was like, because I was sitting there showing you, I was saying like, why is this slanted? And so I was like, kept clicking it over and over again, and I was like, why is this keep going slanted? Okay, so I think black magic went away, because that was definitely slanted, and I couldn't figure out why, because I was snapping to the fucking, default position of a bracket. So I thought it was the pipe was fucking it up or something. I thought it was like, I thought maybe the pipe bracket was like knocking it off like an inch or something. And so I was like, what's going on here? So, I wonder if it's like, if you try to add a bracket after there's a pipe already there. I don't know what I did, but somehow I was able to make a slanted oh well. Anyways, I guess it fixed itself now, but you saw it. It was there. I don't know what I did. Maybe I just found some weird clip points or something where it wasn't grabbing it right or something. I don't know what it was doing. It was definitely slanted. It was about to drive me berserk, because I was like, see, shit like that really fucks me up, because like, if the computer doesn't work, my brain will just, spurg out, because it was like, if I'm the problem, that's fine, but if the computer's the problem, then, fuck that. Anyways. Okay, so back to my original point was, it starts stacking nicely, and then, yeah, like you said, it looks like it's like, this doesn't look spaced out right. So it's wrong in both directions. So not only is it too small, below a belt, like when a pipe is below a belt, it clips into it, which is fucking stupid. And when a belt is below a pipe, it looks like you're missing a step. See? Like, that makes me want to put, like, a bracket here or something, because I'm like, am I missing a bracket here? It's like... So, they need to, like, lower the pipe or something? So that it looks like it's stacking properly? Yeah, I already showed it down here. So, like, down here's another example. By the way, are these all the same space? Yeah. So even when you start from, like, the ground floor, your first bracket is spaced evenly, like all the additional brackets. But then the pipe fucks it up, because it's like, it looks like you're half a step off. And even the pipes are like grinding on each other and shit. You know, I mean, fix that. Yeah, pipes are touching other pipes. But even worse, the default fucking vanilla setting is clipping through this shit. This is unexcusable right here. That's default vanilla. I mean, this is almost excusable because it's just like, you know, just barely tapping the edges, even though it's still clipping. That's still, you know, not good. But I can turn my OCD off right there. I can be like, close enough, fuck it, I don't care. This shit's fucking retarded. It's like half the pipe is, or a quarter of the pipe is in the belt by the default setting of their own layout. So it's like, no, that doesn't work. So that's why I said, whenever I see this out in the world, I'm like, fuck it, I'm not fixing this, because this shit drives me crazy, but there's no way to fix it. There's no right order. And see, it's already doing it right now. It's already clipping through the fucking belt right now. And I thought maybe I did something wrong, but that's their default setting. I think the size is just wrong for stacking supports because the pipes are touching other pipes. They should make the actual supports taller, but I bet when you send a liquid through the pipes, the animation will be viewable from the top of the belt through the belt. Maybe. I don't know. So the reason why I bring this up as the standard default is because there's another issue we have to keep in mind, and that is lifts. So if I have a lift, you better make sure the default click goes right perfectly to that height. And so that looks like the case. Okay, so this pleases my jimmies. No jimmies have been rustled. So, and as long as that's true on every click of your lift, as long as it always lines up perfectly with no matter how many clicks you go up or down, we're good. And so, you know the drill. What the fuck? Hello, horizontal. You just saw that too, didn't you? I just put a horizontal to vertical pipe, and it did it diagonally. You saw that. I probably can't do it again, but hold on, let me see if I can do it again. Okay, I just did it again. Look at that. What the fuck is this shit? Read the build mode on my pipe right now. What does it say? Horizontal to vertical. Does that look like horizontal to vertical? Guys, developers, come on. Does anybody test this shit? You know, I mean, come on. Are we testing it for you? When do I get my paycheck? Because I'm testing your shit for you and telling you how to fix your own fucking bugs. What the fuck? Okay, anyways. Obviously, the answer is you have to start at the bottom and then click on the top one. Because if you click on the top and then go to the bottom, computer can't computer. It don't understand logic. So anyways, by the way, guys, this is the reason why I don't make shit pretty. Because of all this little bullshit that doesn't, you know, line up right and clips anyway. I'm not going to spend hours making shit pretty when the fucking computer code won't even line up shit for me properly, or there's like unexplainable slants in the belts. Fucking shit's clipping through each other. The computer code that says it does the thing doesn't do the thing. And as we pointed out earlier, for some reason, paint job will stop things from clipping onto things. You know, it's just so random, dumb bullshit. So, anyways, the computer says, nah. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't mind when it's my fault. When I click on the wrong button or do the wrong thing, that's my fault. When the fucking computer sits there and argues with me and says, no, I don't want to do it the way you said to do it, I'm like, fuck you, computer. I'm not playing your dumb games. So, anyways, there you go. The class is over. This is why I don't make shit pretty, is because of this dumb fucking bullshit that, you know, won't line up the way you want it to, and you click on it and you're like, I'm clicking on the thing and it won't do it. Or there's like some slanted, you know, belt and you're clicking on it 5 or 6 times in a row and you're like, what am I doing wrong? Because you keep clicking on the same spot over and over and over again and it won't do it. So fuck it. No pretty shit for me until the devs get their shit together. Speaking of getting your shit together, devs, there is still some auto clicking going on that is all kinds of fucked, and I can't remember if you fixed it or not. One of them was like free sliding junctions on pipes and stuff. Like, I think you guys fixed it, but this was like an old vanilla problem where if you have a pipe and you're trying to add a junction to it, and you're trying to get it to snap exactly on that point, not close to it, exactly on it. And if it's freeform, like it won't snap to it, that's a problem. But I think Control fixed that, finally. Yes. In theory. In theory, it visually is telling me that it's behaving, but I still have my doubts. I bet I can control snap it out of alignment, like I'm doing right now. I'm holding down control, and I missed it. Because control doesn't understand snap to that fucking line right there. So you need the visual confirmation and the control to feel good about it. See how it kind of snaps there? But if you just barely move it like 2 inches off, it'll fuck you. That's not a snap. If a control snap is that easy to break, that's not a control snap. That's just a... maybe if you're lucky that day, it'll grab it. So yeah, you guys still need to work on that shit. Because... control snap is still missing the proper alignment. So stuff like that, little shit like that, just and the same thing with like mergers and splitters. Has that same problem. Like if you think you're snapping to something, but you're not really. See, like it's showing me a snap line there. I'm holding down control and it's not snapping to shit. It's just freestyling it. It's not snapping to shit, even though there's a giant snap bar popping up saying, yes, you're perfectly aligned. Right there, it says you're aligned. It's not snapping to shit. It's just still free-forming it. So if my mouse moves when I click, I'm going to miss it. And that's stupid. So, get your shit together, guys. Fix your shit. So, yeah, it was stuff like that that made me never make things pretty ever, because I was like, fuck it, it won't snap to what I'm telling it to do anyway. So, I mean, it took them forever just to get the basic grid up and running. You know, like the way things kind of snap to a grid. You know, that helps a lot, but it's still not perfect. So fuck the OCD. I'm not gonna do it. So, okay, class, that was how to cure OCD in Satisfactory. So now you know. That's why I don't play their bullshit games, because you need to fix your shit before I fix my shit. So this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. And however I was doing a slanted belt is completely unacceptable, since I just showed you I did it on a bracket. I was snapping to the bracket in order to make that belt, and for some reason it was slanted, and I couldn't figure out why. But I think if there was a pipe or something overlapping a belt or something. I don't know how I did that, but somehow I was able to make a slanted belt just beneath a pipe. And so maybe that was a goof. We'll let that one slide, but this doesn't slide. This is all wrong. It's visually wrong. You can just look at it and tell that it's wrong. See, like this shit's okay right here. Acceptable. Good. But what if we do this? Okay, so here's one thing I'll say about it. The default position. The default position is slightly better on pipes than belts because you can slide under a pipe. So with that logic, the belts should also be raised to the level of a pipe. Because even though you can slide under a belt, you know that's bullshit. You can't slide under that. Even though apparently I can phase through it somehow. That's neat. If that was your intention, was allowing people to slide under a pipe, because you can't crawl through underneath one. So why raise it up if you can't even crawl underneath it? You still have to slide underneath it, and you can already slide under these paper thin belt clearances. So if that's all the space you need to slide under, which obviously isn't true, but that's fine. I don't give a shit. Let's pretend that you do have enough space to slide underneath that. Then the same should be true for the pipes, and they should be roughly at the same level as far as belts and structures are concerned. So you got some shit to work on, guys. It's not acceptable yet, so keep working. Screw physics. I didn't even know you could slide under those belts. I never tried to slide under a belt like that because I didn't even know you could do that, and I just now realized you can. Or maybe I did. Have belts always been that low to the ground? Because that looks really tiny. Or am I just not seeing this right? Oh, it's probably the other belts I'm thinking of, like like a dinky belt. Yeah, like those belts, I feel like you can kind of slide under that belt. I guess I wasn't thinking of like Mark V belts or whatever, but I mean, I'm glad they didn't catch that because it looks like technically you shouldn't be able to slide under a Mark V belt. You know, like you should just bump into it. I mean, you can definitely slide under a Mark I belt. And you can definitely slide under a pipe. And like I said, if that's what they were going for, fine, but it doesn't work as far as stacking stuff or whatever. I just now noticed the, the difference between a Mark I belt and a Mark V belt. You can't slide under that. You don't have enough room. You would totally bump into that. But I'm glad they didn't catch it because you can slide under them. Now I have the powers of the ghost stingray. Now I can phase through physical stuff. Yay! Black magic unlocked. Anyways, fix your shit, and then I'll take you serious. But until then, fuck it. I ain't playing this game. My OCD is way too overpowered for this kind of shit. This does not fly. So no, thank you, sir. Come back when you're serious. I don't play games with retards. Anyways, okay. Now class is over. So class is over. I'm glad everyone knows why I don't fuck around with that stuff. It's just not worth the time and effort. As perfectly illustrated by the developers of this game. That's why I don't make stuff pretty. And I noticed this way back in the original releases. This has been a problem ongoing, so this isn't just like a patch problem or something. From day one, it's been stuff like that I've noticed, and I've always been like, maybe they'll fix it in the next patch. And here we are, 10 years later, still waiting for them to fix the most simple, obvious stuff that I've been complaining about since the beginning. So, by the way, I used to go on their forum and like post on and say like, hey guys, can y'all fix this? And they don't listen, so I quit posting. Anyways, as long as you don't have industrial grade OCD like me, you'll be fine. Just ignore all the little things, play and have fun, make it look messy as shit, and just make stuff get done, and then come back and make it a little more pretty and organized. I still haven't even figured out exactly how I want all of my like manifolds to look. Like, this is the first time I did this manifold style. I've been doing it like way more complicated and fancier, prettier looking, but I don't even know if they added this recently. Were we always able to add mergers and splitters directly to a lift? I don't remember that being an option. Because this playthrough, I was like, oh, that's a thing? Because like I just started doing that just now because I don't remember that being an option. Still doesn't look good, but if it works, good enough. I mean, shouldn't it like clip on the edge of the lift, not into it? You know what I mean? I mean, like, see, like, there's a lift right there. So shouldn't this like little spongy connector part be sticking out, and that's what the thing is connected to? So in other words, like, yeah, like this right here. Like, see? There's a lift. There's a splitter. There's the connection. So what the fuck is this? I was like, what the fuck is this? And maybe they're gonna fix it visually later or something. But so then if you're going to do that, then you need to make sure that the clearance for the ground splitters lines up properly. Otherwise you get this horse shit going on. Do those belts line up? What do you think, train guy? Do those belts line up? Anything wrong with this picture here? So either I've got to clip it through this shit right here to get this to line up, or they could just bump this over this far to this position, and it would look better because it wouldn't be clipped into the bracket. It would be like, you know, at least like showing the front edge of this thing. I don't even know how far this distance is. How far is that distance? Let's find out real quick. Let's just see what where it actually lands if you did it right. Yeah, so see, there's the lift. Which, by the way, doesn't even look like that when you make a lift. What the fuck? Oh, okay, it does. For some reason, I thought that connector didn't pop up when you put a lift on. Okay, so there's the lift. So obviously, visually, it should be like, you know, what, like around here-ish? Like almost there, you know what I mean? See how that connector looks like it's connecting here or something? But let's try. Let's try the obvious place and see what that looks like. Okay, so that's visually what it looks like, what it should look like. I think that actually connects too. See, that's another thing. They need to decide like what connects and what doesn't connect, because sometimes it looks like it connects, but it doesn't, because then you have to like stick a belt in the middle of it or something. And so that's one thing they need to fix. But they might even put it right there. Now that looks worse, but I will accept that positioning because then it lines up with your other manifold. So see, now they line up. So now a lift lines up with the next, you know, ground connection without clipping. Even though that might be technically clipping, because I don't know where the hitbox is on that graphic, but it says it's not clipping, because if you connect a belt, blue means no clipping, so it says no clipping, so I'm going to take your word for it there, Satisfactory, but that looks pretty close. That's probably almost clipping in code or something, but you know, whatever. So here are the acceptable answers, either here or one more step over. But your default vanilla setting is shit. So either there or there is acceptable answers. This is not. While it's convenient, I love being able to just point to the lifter and clip on it. That's nice. The clipping is fucked. Because, like, look at this. Yeah, it works, but at what cost? At what cost, dear programmer? So like I said, we're right back to shit not lining up again. So now this bullshit's happening. This is where I think they're doing it on purpose. They're doing it on purpose just to fuck with my OCD. There is no reason why that should clip to that. Visually, that is complete ass. And even logically, that's complete ass. It doesn't line up with anything. There's nothing that will fall in that spot. I'm surprised it even clips to the grid at that point, to be perfectly honest. Just to the simple fact that those are still clippable. I'm actually surprised this clips to the grid, because I thought the grid was a little bit more wide than that. Did they add grid clipping? Because that looks like it's finer tuned. Okay, so maybe that's true, but still. Shitty. That's right? Is that right? Is that straight? Are those straight? Am I seeing this all right? Okay, so you can clip to half of a conveyor belt, apparently, which I don't remember that being the default setting, but if that's true, okay, that's fine. I don't care. This doesn't work. Fix your shit. Because Train and I are not happy with the shitty quality of the programming of this layout. This layout does not work. So yeah. Anyways, there you go. So yeah. Hopefully a developer's watching and they're like, wow, thanks, Fi. Thanks for explaining. You can't unsee it now? I'm sorry, Train. That's why you just don't understand my OCD. Like, I have to like turn my OCD off because humans fuck up shit all the time, and it just drives me crazy. And so I know that doesn't bother most, but I will sit there and just, try to figure out how to make it work, and I can't even make it work because, as before, as I was showing you, where should I place this bracket? Should I place it here? Or should I place it here? If I could click on the fucker. I think you already know where I'm going with this. Okay. That's a straight line. And they got the elevation right. I'm so glad they got the elevation right, because I was about to, go full jihad on them. If that elevation didn't match, I would just go ballistic. But now what's the problem? Can you spot the problem here? With your fucking brackets? Or did they mean, oh, you're supposed to connect it to this belt over here, or this clip. So either this is straight and this is crooked, or this is straight and that's crooked. Which is it, developers? Why did no one test this? Like, no one saw this when y'all released this patch. No one thought, yeah, that looks good. Everything's fine there. Nothing wrong with this system whatsoever. Clipping. and then curved to line up with these fuckers. You know, so it's like so go ahead, developers, explain this thought process to me. What were you thinking when you decided this was a good idea? Fuck yo couch. Brothers Darkness, Black Magic. Fuck your couch. Buy a new couch, you rich motherfucker. This is unacceptable. I do not allow that. This is unacceptable. Okay, so I think I've made my point, Train, and now my blood pressure is rising, so I'm going to find my moment of zen and erase all this bullshit. And just pretend like it's a good game. Because if you cover up all their mistakes, it kind of looks like a good game. You know, it's like, oh, this doesn't look so bad. You know, you're like, this is close enough. I mean, you know, some things look nice. So what's the problem? The problem is there are robots among us. See, that they need robots to play test their games, because if they gave me their game and play tested it, I'd been like, dude, quit being stupid. How many times do I gotta explain this shit to you humans? That is not how logic works. That's unacceptable. So no, I don't accept your answer. False. They haunt, those belts, they haunt me. Yeah, dude, so, yeah. See, that's why I said I just discovered this episode, so this patch is already fucked. It's easier to clip through, but they shouldn't clip through. I don't like clipping through things. I understand they're allowing it. I don't like that. I don't want to play the game this way. So I want to play it the way they intended for us to play it. So see, even that works. See that blue line there? Technically that works, even though I'm not a computer programmer, but I'd be willing to bet that hitbox is clipping. I could probably visually prove it here in a second. Somewhere that's touching. Either in code land or anything. Because again, the hitbox goes straight up and down, by the way. So even though this is curved right here, the hitbox is actually this big. So it's actually touching each other. How that doesn't clip is beyond me. I mean, that must be like perfect, like, you know, paper thin surfaces touching each other, but I'll take the word for that. This shit's unacceptable. Like, what the fuck is this? How the fuck is this a vanilla clip? If you have like a bracket or something and you're telling your player this is the clipping point and this is the clipping point, then you have to make sure all this shit lines up perfectly. So when you tell them that this lines up perfectly, it better line up perfectly. And so on. For forever, in a modular fashion. So no matter what random number I pick, it better be fucking linear. That's all I'm saying. So no matter where I am or what number I pick, they better match. In either direction. It doesn't matter which direction I'm coming from. So they seem to understand the basics of logic and math. You know, this is basic logic and math. Correct. This answer is correct. This is incorrect. And even though it technically fits on the half point, like I said, half of this belt is overlapping. That's fine. I don't care if that's your grid system. I can work with decimals. You know, 1.5 is still a number I can do math with, even though that's also fucked. You know, you should just do whole numbers. Just do integers. Do like 1 click over, 1 click over, 2 clicks over, 3 clicks over, 4 clicks over. Don't do 0.5 clicks over, because you're going to come up with this bullshit. I understand if you had to do it just to make sure like tiny shit can fit in here, like, you know, tiny little fucking power poles are like half a click over. That's fine. I have no problem with that. That's fine. Acceptable. Default positions of lifts and belts being half a click over is unacceptable. Especially because then, you know, you have to just keep pushing things out until they eventually match. And so, sure, you can just keep, you know, adding belts out further and further and then connect them out here, defeating the whole purpose of like a tight build where you ain't got any room except for that one little click to make it fit. That's what I'm talking about. So I know there's super nerdy computer answers to this, but as far as user interface, it's just shitty quality. Yeah, so there you go. There's a little peek into the crooked canals of my tormented robot brain. That shit just really annoys me. So, and I play games that have fun. If it starts to feel like work, I'm not having fun anymore. So, this shit feels like work when I have to explain to humans how basic logic works. So, that's why I'm not an engineer anymore. So, no, thank you. I've already wasted enough time trying to help humans understand basic logic. So. Anyways, and I deleted my poll because it's in the middle of angry rants. Where does that go? Yeah, let's do it up here. Okay, so that's enough of Angry Computer Yells at Cloud episode. Because, like I said, if it's my fault, that's fine. I'll accept my own faults. Like, if I'm fucking it up, I'm the stupid one. If the computer programmers can't fix their shit, then that's not my problem. That's their problem. And I'm not going to fix your computer game for you. You got to fix it. That's what I gave you money for. I gave you money for a computer game that works. So, fix your shit, and then we'll talk. But in the meantime, yeah, these are super, you know, anal retentive OCD levels of nerdy complaining. But this is a nerdy game. I mean, everyone knows this game is targeted towards engineers and nerds and robots, so you're gonna get those kinds of feedback. So don't pretend like this is for the esports crowd or something. Anyways, yeah, so it looks good enough where, like I said, if you don't really care about, you know, millimeter precision, you can get it close enough, and things will work eventually, and then you can go back and clean up your spaghetti. But anyways, Oh, I just thought of another thing. They need to make mergers and splitters stick to the ceiling, because it only sticks to the floor. So, because you can stick belts to ceilings, so same technology, same computer code. See, if you can stick a belt to a ceiling, then you can stick a merger or a splitter to a ceiling. And it should snap to those blue bars. See, it's saying snap, but it's not. That's not snapping to shit. That's just freestyling. What the fuck? That looks like that snapped to something. Oh, it was just me clicking on it. Yeah, so close enough. I'm gonna quit roasting them now. But yeah. So why does it not stick to a ceiling? Explain to me how hard it is to code that. Stick to the ceiling. Because you got, you know, even pipes will stick to ceilings, just like belts. So pipes stick to ceilings. So guess what else should stick to ceilings? That's right, a cross sticks to the ceiling, but mergers and splitters don't stick to ceilings. Make up your fucking mind. Look at this. I didn't even know crosses stick to ceilings. They must have fixed this in the last patch. Because I was about to say crosses don't stick to ceilings either, but they do. These fuckers are just trying to mess with me. Okay, so a cross sticks to a ceiling, but a merger or a splitter doesn't. Explain that to me. Explain how you took the time to write the code to make sure a cross sticks to a ceiling, but you didn't think that adding a splitter or merger to a ceiling. And yes, I know the mounts stick there. Do the stacks? Can you stack on the ceilings? Ooh. Did anyone think of that? Why can't you stack on ceilings? We're gonna need ceiling stacks, guys. They're gonna forget, and then it's gonna become a problem later. We need ceiling stacks, guys. You can't just do one. You gotta have stackable ceilings. What? You could stack on mounts? What the fuck? Holy shit. Oh my, did you tell people you can do this? It helps if we know this is an option. Now see, I was just about to look real dumb, and someone was going to say, you noob. You can stack on ceilings, except it's called mount. Ceiling mount is called stackable connector. What the fuck? Does that mean conveyor poles are stackable? Let's see if that's true. Nope. See, you can't stack on conveyor poles. But you can add a stack around it, not on top of it, mind you. That would make too much logic. If you could stack it on top of it, that would be smart. So the fucking retarded version is you have to aim right off of it in order to put it around and above it. You see how retarded this fucking logic is? This shit drives me crazy. I'm gonna spurg out. I'm just gonna go spurg out for a while. Okay, so these fucking retards didn't tell us that ceiling mounts are stackable, unlike floor mounts, which are not stackable, and in fact will fight you if you try to stack something on it. If you try to put a stack on a floor mount, it fights you. It's like, no, no, no. Don't put it there. No, 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 don't put it there. No, 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 no. You have to aim off of it and away from it like you're trying to miss it on purpose. And then it'll let you drop it. These are the same people who decided ceiling mounts are stackable. They probably didn't even tell. I bet if you look through the notes, they didn't even tell you this. They were like, oh, by the way, it's a secret. Or maybe they did. They probably did, you know, like in like the fine print, you know, like at the bottom of like 40 pages of text, there's probably like one little line that says, oh, by the way, ceiling stacks are mountable or stackable. Ceiling mounts. So are pipe mounts stackable? Uh-oh, I'm getting ready to show how truly retarded they are. You ready? By the way, where is it called ceiling mount on pipes? It's just called wall. Wall supports are ceilings mounts. And are they stackable? Of course not. That would make too much sense. Can you stack onto them anyway? Of course not. That would make too much sense. You fuckers. You motherfuckers. Alright, so see, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I don't pay attention to this shit, because it would require too much reason and logic. This fucking shit. What am I stacking to there? A cross? You can put stacks on crosses? Why? Why is that a thing? Can you put it on ceiling mounts? No. Of course not. That would make too much sense. That train guy, I need therapy after this. This session of exploring patch retardedness has caused me emotional damage. And now I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to play your stupid game anymore because I need logic and you don't know what logic is. So you are fired. You're fired. You and your shitty logic is fired. This is why we can't have nice things, train guy. This is why. Humans will fuck up everything. I mean, it should be pretty obvious. To some of us, train guy, this shit's pretty obvious. It's like, well, duh. Of course, if it can stack on this thing, then it can stack on that thing. And stacking should imply automatic grid systems that nicely play with each other. You know, they shouldn't fight each other and conflict, and you shouldn't have to like brute force it into place in order to make it work. And most importantly, you shouldn't have to like visually glitch things into place in order to make it work, because that's the worst kind. Because like just making it look close enough, but you know it's not in the right place, that stuff drives me crazy. But you know, but just because it technically works is unacceptable. Like just because it, you know, gets the thing from here to there. What the fuck is going on here? What is this? What? What's going on? Am I hallucinating? What's happening? What? Why? Where's my Caterium? Why did you stop, Caterium? Hello? Hello? What the actual fuck is going on here? It's not making Caterium because it's not moving Caterium because it doesn't know what the. I think I broke the game, dude. I broke the fucking game trying to explain pipes and stackable thingers. Game's broken. Okay. Game's broken. Okay, I'm done. Anyways. Before it completely melts down my whole entire... I better alt save that just in case it... Just in case it has completely broken my factory or something, but I don't think therapy will be enough for us. That's a good point. The game was already broken. You might be right about that. What the... Oh my goodness, I deleted a belt. Holy shit. I didn't even see that. When did that happen? Okay, now see, that might have been my fault. That might have been my fault. Okay. Okay, game. Touche. I don't remember deleting that belt, but okay, if you say I did, that's my fault. Okay, things are moving. Phew! I was about to have a meltdown. Okay, the things are doing things. Even though I think you saw it with me too. Weren't these like locked up or something? Because like it wasn't moving for some reason. And I was looking at it like, why aren't you moving? And I'd come over here and look at it. And it wouldn't tell me why it stopped moving. Oh, okay. So sure. If that's all it was, I accept that as an answer. See, that's logic. That's how logic works. If I deleted that belt, I'm guilty of being stupid. I don't remember doing that, but the game said I did, so I'll take its word for it. And so everything should be working again, correct? Which is why I was confused why the other things were stopping. I was like, why did it just stop in the middle of the belt? Because I was like, it should move. So, yeah. Okay. So, I need to stop anyways, because like I said, I'm starting to lose my mind just looking at stuff and trying to figure out why the game is fighting me. So, I think it did that on purpose, just to taunt me. Can you confirm, Train Guy, that the game purposely deleted my belt just so I would freak out and be like, why is the thing's not working? Because I don't remember deleting that belt. That doesn't sound like something I would do, but okay, sure. It's possible. It's physically possible. I did that. So make sure I didn't leave any other bullshit in around while I was explaining why the game is so annoying. But anyways, yeah, so today I learned belt ceilings stack, but pipes don't. Pipe crosses will cling to ceilings, but belt mergers and splitters don't. And so the game is 100% taunting me. I agree. I'm so glad you were here to witness this, because I would think it was my own brain going crazy and that I was hallucinating and that the game was possessed by an evil spirit and was trying to taunt me. But anyways, game developers, I've lectured you long. By the way, send a check to me, since I'm doing your job for you, telling you what's wrong with your game and how to fix it. And so I should be a paid developer of the game. I want my paycheck. So anyways, yeah, so decent game, could have been a lot better. I told you how to fix it. Fix it. You're welcome. The game is the evil spirit. Maybe. There are ghosts in this game, so every once in a while there's like ghost stingray that floats through my base, so I'm inclined to believe your claim is true. There are evil spirits. Lots of evil spirits in this game. Anyways, I think that's about done with this playthrough, because like I said, it's been about 3 hours. Train Guy, be sure you subscribe and come back and let's talk politics and stuff. Tell me all about how the UK is farked up. You know, I already know the answer. I just want to hear your version of it. Do you guys still go to jail just because of free speech and stuff like that? Like, every time you say something naughty about your government or whatever, do they put you in jail for that? Because I just heard that again recently, and I don't want to believe that's true, but I kind of feel like it's true. And if that is true, you guys need to just like burn down your government and start over again. It's completely broken. It's even more evil than the spirits in this game, so... yeah, it's been a pleasure, dude. So I do open panels and we debate politics and stuff. So if you want to check it out, just give me a holler and we'll do one. I don't know when my next planned, Yik Yak stream is, but no, that hasn't happened for a long, long time. You mean it still happens, but it's just not very often, is what you're saying, or? Are you talking about like centuries ago or something? I'm pretty sure some British dude recently went to jail for saying naughty things about the government online or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but and I'm not just talking about like Count Dankula or whatever. I'm talking about recently. There was some dude that said the government's shitty or something, and he was cited for inappropriate criticism of government or something like that, and a couple other charges. I think that he was like protesting or whatever, but the thing they cited him for was naughty words on the internet or something was the reason why they were putting him in jail or whatever. I don't know, you tell me. It's your country, so that's what I heard on the internet. So I don't know if anything on the internet is true or not. So if that's true, dude, burn your government down, just start over. It's time for a new government. So put on your Guy Fawkes mask and remember the 5th or something. I can't remember what the saying is. Anyways, good luck. Have fun. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. I'm kind of done with video games for now, so catch you on the next one, dude. Later. They only arrest if it's false information. Again, I'm pretty sure it was just the dude said the government's shitty or annoying or something like that, which maybe the government interpreted that as false information, but yeah, that's why I said I don't know your remember the 5th of November day exactly. So like I said, maybe I heard the story wrong or something. I don't know. But anyways, hopefully it is legitimate reasons why you get arrested, but I would be the least bit surprised if it's just, disagreeing with your government and saying that they're bad people or whatever. So, okay, dude. Well, hopefully your riots calm down and your country goes back to normal sometime soon. But I think that ship has sailed. So, good luck. Have fun. See you on the next round. Later.